I just clocked 100 hours on my new tractor. Welcome to Pale Horse Outdoors. Having 100 hours on this tractor means two things. One, it means that I don't have a lot of experience on this tractor. But two, means that I'm at the perfect position to give you my insights, my impressions, pros and cons, as a new owner of a Kubota B2601. Well, let's start with the cons. To be honest, there aren't that many. In fact, I really only have one, and that is getting on and off. The way I do it, and I don't like it, is I put my hand up on the loader arm here and I grab the steering wheel. I don't pull on the steering wheel as much as I just steady, and then I push up with my knees, of course. And it works, I can do it. But when you get on and off this tractor, and if you're over 50 like I am, that can really be a pain. The main thing I don't like about putting my hand on this loader arm is that this is a pinch point, and I could actually hurt myself pretty bad if I'm not careful. Now, I do know that you can get a step right here, which I may do someday. I don't know if you can get it from Kubota. I think you can. They probably have one for another model, or you can get it aftermarket. I don't know what they cost, but I think it'd be worth it because I get on and off of my tractor quite a bit, and even more so when I'm doing this, when I'm filming. So that's really the only con I can think of. What are the pros? Well, pros are going to be somewhat specific to my situation. I have 6 acres out here, and it's primarily hills and lots of forest. We have many types of forest. We've got right here, this is the alder forest. And if you know anything about alders, they're nice and tall and they don't really get that big, but they grow in just clusters and clusters and clusters, which means it's tight. My trails are more or less 60 inches wide because that's what my rake has provided. They're, due to erosion, they're a little wider than that, but hey, 60 inches. That's not very wide to get a tractor through the woods. So for me, the size is perfect. It's bigger than a BX model, which means it's got more power, but it's not as big as the LX or the L Series or anything bigger than that, which really works out well for me out here. Like I said before, I've got lots of hills out here. In fact, the first few days I was on my tractor, I was scared to death that I was going to roll it. So I'm always careful, but I was really careful at the beginning. I made sure that I went up and down hills, straight, perpendicular, no cutting across, unless it was, a lower grade. But yeah, so size, especially for me, is a huge pro. It's got enough power, it's not the most powerful compact tractor on the market, but at the horsepower it has, it does everything I need. I've cut trails, I've mowed the grass, I use my grapple constantly. If you're gonna get any single attachment, get a grapple, trust me. But yeah, I can cut down a couple of alder trees. I can block them at about 7 feet wide, maybe 8, and I can pick up both trees at the same time and move them away. Brush, no problem. I've picked up all sorts of things. This front end loader is actually pretty strong, I would say, for its class. But anyway, the other cons, the other pros that I can think of is fuel economy. I maintain 2 5-gallon easy fill cans, and of course this tank on the Kubota is about 6 gallons. I only put in 5 at a time, and even with working 8-hour days out in the forest, I only fill it every week and a half, which is amazing. My big Dodge 1500, shoot, I fill that every day just about. Other pros, if I can think of any off the cuff here. Fuel economy, size. Let's go with durability. Yeah, I've only got 100 hours on it, but I have not had a single hiccup Nothing. In fact, the only damage, if you will, to the tractor is damage that I inflicted myself. For example, right at the beginning of cutting these trails, I had the rake down. I forgot it was down and I backed up too fast and I bent my, my top link. I can get a new one of those for about $25, I think, at Tractor Supply, or I can get a brand new one from Kubota for about $115. I am going to get a new one. The reason I haven't gotten one yet is because I'm thinking about getting a hydraulic top link, just so that when I work with my box blade, it'd be a lot easier to use. So durability is there. Anybody tells you otherwise, did I just make noise? Probably. Anyway, anybody who tells you otherwise, they got a lemon, and that happens. Let's see, what else? So we covered fuel economy, we covered durability, and we covered size. What else? How about just ease of use? Let me get back up on here for a moment. Oh gosh, I need that step. Ease of use. Left side, we got a brake. We can set a parking brake, and I recommend you do that. Tilt steering. Tilt steering is not the best in the world. I guess that might be the second con. A lot of times it'll slip, and a lot of times it'll have a little trouble getting into the notch where you want it. But once it's locked in for good, unless you hit that release again. On the right side, you have the shuttle pedal. Push forward to go forward, push back to go back. I don't think you get simpler than that. I really don't. I know there's some videos out there talking the virtues of a treadle pedal, or the horrors of the treadle pedal. I know there are people that have driven John Deere, and I think John Deere still has the two pedal configuration. You press one to go forward, you press the other one next to it to go to the back. Me, I'm kind of set in my ways. I'd be hitting the reverse thinking I was hitting the brake. It's really not an issue to use this pedal. A lot of people stick their foot up under the front of it and pull it to go backwards. I don't do that. A lot of times I have my muck boots on and I just really can't get it under there very well. But it also hurts the top of my foot a little bit. So, but you know what? Hey, push. It's that simple. The cluster is pretty simple. You got, a temperature gauge, you have a tachometer, you have a fuel gauge, and you got your hours meter. That's it. I do look at my talk quite a bit. Being on these hills, I probably have to run my my low end RPMs a little higher than most people, but it's really not that big a deal. Other controls, again, very simple. You got 3 speeds, low, medium, and high, and a neutral. I keep it in low most of the time, unless I'm trying to get from A to B, and then I'll put it in medium. And of course, if I'm going over to neighbors, I'll put it in high to make sure, I'm going more than 5 miles per hour on the county roads. So anyway, yeah, you got the 3 speeds. You got a rear and a mid PTO. I don't use the mid PTO because I have a brush hog and I don't use a finish mower. I have a Cub Cadet for that. PTO clutch, and then you've got 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. Now I use 4-wheel drive all the time. The hills, but whenever I'm using my front end loader, whenever I'm using my grapple, just about any time I'm doing work, I'm going to put it in 4-wheel drive, unless I'm simply picking up a pile of brush, moving across the flat land, and dropping it somewhere else. In that case, I'll keep it in 2-wheel, and of course 2-wheel drive on the county roads as well. And the last lever over here is for your 3-point hitch, up and down. Can't get simpler than that. The seat's very comfortable. I generally always ride with the armrest down. It makes it more comfortable. Plus, it makes me feel like I'm in here. Like when it's up, I feel like I could just fall out. These side grabs, I use them constantly. When you're riding around on hills, you tend to kind of ride like this. One hand on here, one hand on here, and you're bouncing and rocking the whole time. But these grab handles are in the right spot. I never have to go looking for it. It's always right there. And they just provide a lot of utility for me. I haven't done any mods, to be honest. I know there's lots of good mods out there. It is the beginning of September here in Washington State, which means it's going to start to get dark really early. I will probably do some sort of LED lights up on the ROP. There's lots of good videos out there, you know, teaching you how to put those on, recommending which ones to get. So I will definitely be doing that as we get closer to winter if I want to keep working outside, and I do, because I still got a lot of work out here. If you've seen any of my other videos, my log piles are pretty massive, especially for 6 acres. Okay, so one thing I've not done yet is remove the front end loader. I haven't had a real reason to. Now I have done the 50-hour maintenance, and to do that I lifted the loader up and rested it on a heavy wooden table, just, you know, for safety. But yeah, I haven't taken that off yet, but the videos I've seen, especially I think Martin on DIY My Way, he shows how to do it. There are a few videos out there show how to do it, and I think MJA Doing Stuff, I think maybe he's done one. Ed over at My Cluttered Garage. Anyway, it's something I'm gonna do, but haven't needed to really do yet. Let's see. I also have a quick hitch. I had this installed at the dealer, and it came with it. I've never had to hook up my rear implements without a quick hitch, and I hope I never have to. If you only buy one thing for the back, and of course you wouldn't, but if you did, the quick hitch, you need it. When I take off these implements, I can throw on a, I don't know what they're really called, but it's that triangular shape hitch, rear hitch. I can throw that on there and move a trailer around. I mean, it's just so simple. So yeah, get a quick hitch. I have a land rake, 60 inches. I got a grapple, 60 inches. I've got a cutter, rotary cutter or brush hog. It's 48 inches. And I've got a stump bucket from Titan. What else? Oh, and I've got a BB1260, which is a 60-inch box blade from Land Pride. The box blade is what I wanted the most, and it's what I used the least, just the way it worked out. I don't even use my rake that often anymore, because if I'm out in the woods or out in the fields and I just need to quickly rake something up, I use my grapple. Hopefully I'm not hurting it by doing it that way, but this is, I consider, heavy equipment, and I'm gonna use it. I mean, I'm gonna put it through hell, to be quite honest. And if I break it, I'll fix it. So, I don't know if I can think of any more pros other than just to tell you that this is an awesome, awesome, awesome machine. I've never owned a tractor before, but I've operated heavy equipment in the military. And this thing is built like the proverbial tank. It runs great. So if you ever see anywhere that Kubota doesn't make a good product, you're talking to somebody that is jaded or got a lemon, flat out. So I guess I'm gonna wrap this one up. Hopefully I provided some kind of information that, you know, was new to you or helpful, so that you can make a decision whether you're a new tractor owner or you're thinking about buying one of these. I don't know if they're making the B2601 model specifically anymore. I've heard that it was being replaced by the LX series. I think that's a really bad call if the LX is bigger. Now, I stood next to an LX at my dealer not too long ago, and I want to say that the tires came up higher than mine. So if I was in the market right now, I wouldn't want it, even if it's basically the same size. It's too tall. It's too tall for my use out here in these hills. The BX, too small. BX is a great machine. It really, really is. I've seen some really good stuff on YouTube, especially Biff's equipment. Man, can that guy use a front end loader and a bucket. Wow, I wish I had those skills. Maybe I'll get them one day. Anyway, yeah, the B2601 for, you know, I would say under 10 acres, hills, dense trails, dense woods, you know, cutting trails. B2601 is amazing. So hopefully, if you're looking to buy one, I've helped you make your decision. All right, well, that's it for today. I really appreciate you watching Pale Horse Outdoors, and please give me a subscription and click that bell so you can be notified. I am trying to grow this channel. I'm hoping I'm providing some good content. I know there's lots of channels like mine out there, but we're not all making the same videos, are we? There's lots of movie studios. They're not all making the same movie. So it only takes a click, and it really helps out. Thank you so much. One is I put my hand on the loader arm. If this were to be moving, or for some reason it moved, I could really pinch my hand here. There's always an airplane. Always an airplane. Take a bus.